Hello and welcome everybody. Today I will be showing you my peer tutorial for the course of FA324, which is also the course known as Corporate Logo and Identity. And in my peer tutorial, I will be discussing a way to elevate your gradients in Illustrator to go from this to something more like this, which helps add a little bit of personality and a finished look to subtle gradients. Alright, to start with that noise or textured effect, you'd want to have the shape drawn and completed, right? Maybe I'll pick a different color this time. I'll go with, say, a warmer purple or a warmer, lighter purple. Okay? I'll go with this warm purple. Okay? And after you have the shape drawn, you're gonna have it selected, Control Copy, and then Control Shift V, which is gonna duplicate the shape right in front of the shape that you pasted it from, so it's going to paste it in the exact same position that you need it to be. It's right in front. So Control C and Control Shift V. All right. After I've had it this way, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna start with the shape color. We can do the highlight color first, but simply for now, we're gonna just do the shape color, which I'm gonna go a little bit cooler for the shape color, and I'm gonna pick, say, this color. It's not dark enough. Let's go darker. Okay, and that's good. Now I'm gonna need you to bring up. We can't directly make it a gradient right now. We're gonna have to create a transparency mask. Alright, and the way you bring up the transparency mask, you're gonna go from Window, right? And you're gonna go Shift, Control, and F10. You can bring it up from the Window menu like you did, or you can use the shortcut, which is again Shift, Control, and F10. Alright, and I have it already here. I'm gonna have my shape selected, and I'm gonna click on Make Mask. The moment you click on Make Mask, it's gonna give you this already black void, and it's gonna set it to clip. You don't want it to be set to clip. Alright? After you take off the clip option, you want to click on this panel right here, and you're gonna notice that the entire layers have disappeared. It's taking me to the transparency mask, and you're gonna have to hop in between both. And like this is gonna bring up my normal layers, and this is gonna bring up the transparency mask only that's related to the shape. Alright? So okay. I'm gonna have this selected, and I'm going to create my own mask. Now a rectangular shape will be enough. Rectangle tool. You want to draw the shape first, alright? And you want it to set to completely black. Alright, so far so good. And on this shape, on this black rectangle that I just created, this is where I'm gonna create my gradient. Because it's a mask, the white is going to show the layer that the mask is on, and the black is going to hide it. So you notice, because the whole rectangle is black, you're seeing the base color that I have behind. So okay. Now I'm gonna go making sure that I have the rectangle selected. I am going to go to gradient, and I'm gonna pick whatever kind of gradient I want. You can choose this linear gradient, which is fine, or even the radial gradient. But for this particular shape, I will use something more complex, which is the freeform gradient. It's gonna give you by default 4 points with random colors. You're gonna delete 2 of them, and you're gonna keep the other 2, and you are going to change their color. I'm gonna change one of them to be white and the other to be black. Now, you should already know how to use the freeform gradient, but here is a quick tutorial if you don't. You can draw in points and in lines. So if I click here, it's going to give me another point, and then another point, and then another point. All right. And then if I click on lines, it's going to draw lines for me between the points that I already have drawn. Then I can add even a new point if I wanted. To stop drawing these lines, you're going to click Escape on the corner of your keyboard, and it's going to stop drawing that particular line. All right, and you're going to make sure, just to make sure that the rest of the, as you can see, I'm seeing the gradient that I have right down here, and most of it is not, it's not black enough for me. I would like to show more of the base color. So basically, I'm gonna do this. And this looks good to me. Alright, after we've done all of this, okay, we want to go back, have our shape selected, go back to the selection tool, not the gradient tool. Okay, and make sure that I have my shape selected, and I'm gonna go to Effect, and I'm gonna go to Texture. Now from Texture, I'm gonna choose Grain, and this will open up a new panel. Oops, it'll continue in the other window. So this is the panel that you're gonna see, and you're gonna have a few options here with the intensity and the contrast, and a few settings as well. I am hold up. The settings are here, and you can have regular, like this gradient, soft, there's even sprinkles. I'm using the stippled. It's looking the best in my opinion. It's giving me the result that I want. And you can play with the contrast and the intensity of said gradient. I wanted to, and really, you just find it, right? Like, this is based on how you want it to look, okay? And I'm gonna set it this way. And as you can see now, okay, if I zoom in, you can see that I have my stippled gradient. And you can do this with also another layer for the highlight, which is gonna give you a really good result. Again, to switch back from these transparency mask layers, you're going to click back through the transparency panel, which, again, window, transparency, shift, control, F10. I just have it here for convenience. I recommend you do as well. And you just have to go back and forth between these to edit. If I wanted to add, say, another layer, I'm gonna again control copy, or control C, control shift V is gonna give me a layer in front, and I'm gonna choose a highlight color, which I might make warmer and of course lighter. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna make the shape a mask, remove the clipping option, select this, make sure I am in this the mask layers, not the main layers. All right, and I'm gonna use the rectangle tool, draw a rectangle around my shape. All right, I'm gonna zoom out, and I'm gonna set it to black. Okay. And okay, I'm gonna go to gradient, and again, the gradient panel, you can get it from here. Gradient is control F9. Okay, so, choose the freeform gradient. Again, that's really a quick thing. You don't really, the more you get used to it, the quicker it will be. Just delete this. Delete this as well. And change the color of these. Set it to drawing points, of course, first. And this is going to be black. This time, I'm going to draw the black points first. Again, drawing white for me. Don't know why. Okay, then connect these and draw lines. Okay. shape. Select this point. A lot of this seems tedious, and sometimes it doesn't make sense because Illustrator is Illustrator, but the key to it is just you persevere. And I'm gonna get my white point here. I'm gonna draw. Sometimes you can just get away with tracing the shape, which is cool. Enter, and I'm gonna go back to Effect and make sure that I have the shape selected. Use the selection tool, not the gradient tool. And you want to go to Effect, Texture, Grain, and it's gonna open up this panel, and you're gonna intensity, how intense it is. Play around with it, you know. And here we go. It created the stippled or the grain noise, whatever you want to call it, effect. And it gave it a little bit more personality than if you left the gradient on its own. That's it. Thank you for watching.